Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 1, Text 2. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtvā tu Pandavanikam Vyūಢam Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upsangamya Raja Vachanam Abravīt. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army gathered by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhan went to his teacher and began to speak the following words. So, in this text, there is a partial answer to the question which was raised in text 1. Anyway, before going to the answer, let's discuss the various names or the words which are used in this shloka. So, first of all, we get mention of Duryodhan here. Duryodhan was the eldest son of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Actually, it is said that at the time of his birth, there were various bad omens which caused, like many saintly persons, such as Vidura, to fear that Duryodhan will bring the destruction or will be the cause of destruction for the Kuru dynasty. According to Mahabharata, Duryodhan is a part of Kali or Amsha of Kali. He was sinful, cruel, and a sort of disgrace to Kuru dynasty. So at his name-giving ceremony, the family priest and the other Vedic astrologers, seeing the indication of future, gave him the name Duryodhan, one who fights against the injunction of religious warfare. Actually, his name was also given as Suyodhan, but many times to counteract the bad omens which were present during his birth, people are used or called by the name which actually reduce the effect of those bad omens. So, what are the bad omens and how the effect is reduced? So, sometimes it is seen that when you blaspheme a person too much, the effect of that blasphemy or the curses is reduced. So, by giving the name Duryodhan, Dur actually is, Du word is not an auspicious word as per the Sanskrit language. Su is the auspiciousness and Dur is inauspicious or bad in Sanskrit language. So anything which is prefixed by Dur is not good. And anything which is prefixed by Su is godly in nature. So hence he was famous by the name Duryodhan. Now we see there is another word used in the shloka, view. Now view as per Shabd Ratnavali is a formation of military phalanx arranged by an expert king in such a way that it is impenetrable by opponent from any direction. So if you cannot penetrate the opposition's military arrangement, it will be impossible for you to defeat him. So that's how the view is arranged. There are various types of views actually. And we also see that how there was a sort of a chakravyuh which was created by Dronacharya, and only Arjun was capable of destroying that chakravyuh. So there are views and there are the ways to counteract those views. It is something like in chess we have got many openings. You move that particular pawn first. That's one type of opening, and then there is another type of opening. Similarly, and chess is nothing but it's something like creating a view, forming a type of arrangement of your so-called imaginary army, which is a chessboard and the pieces there, so that it becomes impossible to defeat you. Similarly, the view is a formation of your actual army so that with the minimal possible losses to your army, first thing is you save yourself, and second thing is this view will actually enforce a very heavy losses to the opposition, and hence it will make a king victorious in a battle. This is the meaning of yoga. Now in this shloka there is mention of Acharya or teacher. Actually, although the name Dronacharya is not mentioned, but Dronacharya was actually a commander-in-chief at that point of time at the beginning of the war or battle of Mahabharata. So Acharya means Dronacharya here. Dronacharya was actually a common teacher for both Pandus and for sons of Pandu and Dhritarashtra, Pandavas and Kauravas. So he taught them the science of military. Now he was born from a drone, which is water pot. So he became famous as by name Drona. He was son of great sage Bharadwaj. So although he is famous for being a teacher of weaponry, it's not that he was not expert in other knowledge of Vedas or Vedangas. So he was well versed in Vedangas. And he learned the science of weaponry from Parshuram. Other thing was that he could only die at the time of his choosing. No one would kill him. And he was given the benediction that till he is holding any weapon in his hand, it would be impossible to kill him. Until that weapon, he is not using that weapon against someone, nobody will be able to kill him. Now, how Dronacharya became the teacher of princes, there is another story behind it. So, in his childhood, he was friend with King Drupad of Panchal. Drupad is same Drupad who is father of Draupadi. So Dronacharya, he went to Hastinapur to earn livelihood actually. So he was insulted by his childhood friend once, and then he went to Hastinapur to earn his livelihood. Also, his plan was to somehow get the revenge of his insult from Drupad. He wanted to extend the revenge on Drupad also. And most of us know that Arjun was his favorite disciple. So most of the secrets he taught Arjun. One of them was like how there was a particular type of chakra which only Arjuna knew how to break that view or chakra view. So now coming back to the question, and what actually is the intention of Sanjaya here when he's telling Dhritarashtra that Duryodhan he went to his teacher. Now Dhritarashtra was blind since birth. Not only blind bodily, but he was also blind of both, bereft of both religious and spiritual vision. He also knew that his sons are also equally blind in matter of religion, and he was sure that they will never reach an understanding with Pandavas, who are all pious, religious. But still, at the time of Mahabharata, in the first loka, he became overwhelmed with lamentation and illusion that due to the influence of Dharmkshetra, his son Duryodhana might return half of the kingdom to Pandavas. And fearing this, he became dejected, and he asked that question to Sanjay. Actually, Dhritarashtra was fearful of two things. One was that there may be some sort of peaceful settlement and there won't be any fight at all. No battle will be there, which was not as per his wish. Second fear he has was that there will be a favorable influence of sacred place, Kurukshetra, to Pandavas because they were on the side of religion. They were religiously correct. So he has two faith. He was not in favor of peaceful settlement. But again, if there was a war, he was again afraid that because of the Dharmkshetra, it will have adverse effect on his sons. Now, although he was illusioned, still he desired to fight. He wanted to go ahead with fight, finish it off. And his calculation was simple. Numerically, his army was greater. As far as princes were concerned, his sons were 100 in number and Pandavas were only 5. Then the number of kings who were supporting Kauravas were far greater than the number of army or the strength of army which was in favor of Pandavas. Actually, this is the position of living entities when they are illusion. They do not know what to do. Now they are fearful also that this may happen, this wrong may happen, but still, and they will contemplate various options. They are fearful and they also want something. And then they will do that also, although they know it is not right. And this is what is happening. When we are bewildered, we keep doing mistakes, keep doing wrong things, we keep repeating them again and again. This is the situation of everyone. Now, Sanjay was highly religious, and since he was not fearful, he has no envy, he was visionary, and he was able to understand when Dhritarashtra asked him question that what did my son and son of Pandu did. He was able to understand the feelings of Dhritarashtra. He knew that Dhritarashtra he desired to fight, but also he is fearful. So he wanted to first thing that there is no peaceful settlement. He wanted to convey that. Although Sanjay was aware that what the result of battle would be, still since he was serving Dhritarashtra, he tried to pacify him. So he told him that yes, there is no chance of compromise. Duryodhan is not compromising because if he was compromising, then he would have moved towards the other side, went to other king. But actually he went to his Acharya, or the commander in chief. So actually Duryodhana, when he saw this view which was arranged by Pandavas, so he went towards Dronacharya. Here, actually Dhritarashtra is referred as Raja or king. So that will actually this was how Sanjay was trying to pacify Dhritarashtra. At least right now you are king. Maybe you don't know about future. After war, in war, what will happen? But right now you are Raja. So he called him Raja. It is something like you call somebody with some name, his designation, and he feels good about it. Now, as far as Duryodhana is concerned, he had two motives when he approached Dronacharya. First thing was Duryodhana, he was not expecting that Pandavas they would be able to accomplish the military strength which he was seeing now. Because he knew they were in forest for so many years and they would not get help from many kings and all. But when he saw their Vishal army, the fear suddenly entered into him. So he thought, oh, now there are chances that he will lose. Till then he was not so, he was very happy. He was thinking, I am so powerful, I have so big army and this and that. But suddenly by seeing the formation, the way it was arranged, he became fearful. Now, second motive here was to show his respect for Dronacharya. So this is something like political, although he never followed Dronacharya advice on anything. But here, since now Dronacharya is fighting from his side, he want to show that how important he is for him. So hence he personally went to Dronacharya. Actually, Dronacharya is fighting for him, so he could have called Dronacharya. But because of these two things, and mainly because of fear, when we are fearful, then we don't see what is our position, whether I am king or not. As soon as I am fearful, I will run for a help. And this is what Duryodhan did. Seeing the gravity of situation, he was surprised how they could arrange so many soldiers, such a big army. Thus, because of that fear, he rushed towards Dronacharya. That was the main reason. Second was just there his diplomatic behavior. Now, actually, Krishna, when Krishna was approached by Duryodhan and Arjuna, so Krishna said that okay, fine, I cannot actually, I have to help both of you because both of you have come, and I cannot be partial to one. So, and Krishna is always impartial. So he gave the choice to Duryodhan himself. In fact, he saw Arjuna first because Arjuna was sitting on his towards his leg and Duryodhan was sitting towards on the side of his head. So when Krishna he was sleeping and he opened his eyes, first he saw Arjuna. So from his perspective, Arjuna was the first to come. He saw him first. But still Arjuna said, okay, fine, no problem. Let Duryodhan decide what he wants, whether he wants Krishna without a weapon or he wants whole army of Krishna, whole military strength of Krishna. And Duryodhan thought, what is use of Krishna? And he is anyway not fighting, he won't be holding any weapon. So he preferred to take the military force. And Arjuna was very much happy when Duryodhan selected the military strength of Krishna, not Krishna himself. So in one way, Krishna satisfied Duryodhan also, and he satisfied Arjuna also. So he showed his impartial nature there as well. So here, if we see, by his action, Duryodhan has confirmed that there is no chance of any compromise between two parties. So he went to his Acharya, his commander in chief, to further discuss or to further get measure of what are their strength and what are the strength of Pandavas. And if we see next few sloks be spoken by Duryodhan, where he will be analyzing the Maharathis on his sides and the big fighters, big warriors on the side of Pandavas. These will be the coming shlokas. Hence, so we see here that Sanjay, with his very skillful words, is able to convey the message to Dhritarashtra also pacify him because he was serving him, and not speaking anything which was not true. He was able to convey the message that there are no possibility of war, or the question, no possibility of compromise. It was the answer to the question which Dhritarashtra has posted in Shlok 1. Kim Akarvata Sanjaya. So here Sanjaya is telling him that Duryodhan is not in mood of any compromise, and he has went to his teacher and started speaking to his teacher. Obviously not about the compromise, but to discuss and analyze the military strength of both the sides. The only one problem we will see in his calculation, which Duryodhana will miss, he will never consider Krishna in his calculation, because he was not considering Krishna as part of the war. He was not thinking that he is on side of Arjuna. And this is what most of us, the materialistic people, do. They will do nice calculation, they will come up with nice analysis, but then the major part of their calculation, or the most important thing which they should be putting in their calculation, which is Lord Krishna or God Himself, that they will not include. And hence most of their materialistic plan will fall on their face. They will be unsuccessful. जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की।